to a Root creation. I'm Root and today I'm into the West with Matt King. How long has the tournament been for?
So Into the West has been running for 6 years now in Cardiff. Getting bigger every year. COVID's had a few issues this year, but ultimately getting bigger.
How long have you been playing, Matt?
Oh, playing? Quite a long time. Too many years to count. No, let's say 10. 10 years, let's go with that.
What is your favourite army?
Hobbits, because they're just so likeable.
What is your favourite model?
Oh, these are all crazy questions. Smaug, just because he's awesome, very big. Small size models. Farmer Cotton, because he's an awesome little hobbit.
Thank you for your time. See you all soon.
Cheers, guys.
Hi, so you're joining us after the first round. My first round opponent was Reese.
Hey guys.
Unfortunately, congratulations here to Reese. He managed to just edge me out in the Clash by Moonlight.
Clash by Moonlight, yeah, it's a close one.
Yeah. So how do you feel the game went?
I don't know, it's a tough one because there wasn't many combats, not many tales of heroic deeds and things in that game. It was more just skirting around each other, I was trying to avoid that no man's land in the middle, which is just all those traps that the hobbits get is just ridiculous.
Yeah, and, like a minefield, isn't it?
It is, exactly, yeah. And the shooting was just lethal, especially when I haven't got anything to counter you with, like just my 17 berserkers, which is not great against the gun line of hobbit archery. So
yeah, I had to use a bit of a sacrificial unit in Holfoot Bracegirdle's Shirriffs. I managed to get them using the ambush special rule right at the back of the board.
Just a kamikaze.
Just a kamikaze.
Yeah.
Just went in, took out the ballista.
Yeah.
I mean, the ballista.
Not before it got a few good shots.
It did.
Yeah.
It nearly took Pippin. Took Holfoot and a couple of the others out with the first round of shooting.
Yeah.
And at that point, I was like, shit.
Yeah, this thing needs to go. Yeah. No, it was good fun. It was good to see. Yeah, because it's not often that it hits, and it's nice when it manages to pull off a couple of decent shots.
It caused carnage. It's absolute carnage.
It was great to see from my point of view. It was glorious. But,
it's always great. Everyone wants to see carnage in these games.
Yeah.
I'm not up for a namby-pamby, just tactical manoeuvring game. I want to see that shit.
Yeah.
That's why I've got hobbits. I've got 47 things that
sacrificial lands. Yeah.
So anyway, good game.
Yeah, thank you
very much. And good luck for the rest of the tournament.
Yeah.
In round 2, my hobbits faced off bravely against a horde of Mordor orcs. The scenario was reconnoitre, so we had to break units through our opponent's line and get them off the battlefield. My early gambit of having my Shirriffs move on deep into enemy territory thanks to the ambush special rule backfired a little, as they were quickly dispatched with. The hobbit leaders used their ponies well, trying to draw some orcs towards them, but ultimately getting those two off the table wasn't enough, as my opponent managed to get 3 orcs off my board edge. At 0-2 I was dropping down to the bottom tables, also known as the fun zone.
So with round 3 in the books, I have Duncan here, my worthy opponent, and well, that was quite an interesting scenario, wasn't it? We had to the death, and there wasn't much death. First of all, tell us about the army you were playing.
So playing Black Legion, Black Riders, Legendary Legion, 5 Wraiths, Witch King on 2-10-2, all the rest on 2-7-2, Witch King with Mortal Blade. Essentially, the entire game for first, what are we on, 90 minutes, so 88 minutes?
Yeah.
Nothing happened.
Yeah, there was kind of a little bit of shooting, some traps going off. The horses got taken out by the traps, which was quite fun.
Yeah.
It was just like mine. Gone. I think a couple of horses got killed by shooting as well, didn't they?
Yeah.
So it was all on foot apart from one right until the very end. And I kind of managed to nullify it. You couldn't really get going with any kills.
Yeah. It was essentially, I'm going to hit you with a wiffle bat, you're going to hit me with a wiffle bat, and what's happened?
Yeah.
Oh, we've just been bruised.
I mean, it was literally wiffle bats. It was all the sheriffs getting stuck in, trying their two-handed weapons, and nothing worked. So let's cut to the chase. Last 90 seconds.
Okay.
Where the interesting bit happens.
So, Witch King died, another Wraith died, a second Wraith died, and then a third Wraith ran from Courage, which meant that it went from being a 0-0 to 10-0 loss.
So we're doing to the death, which means that we had to kill the opponent's leader. Obviously that's the Witch King and Merry.
Merry had run away.
My bonus scenario in this
fearless.
He was absolutely just, I'll let those guys do the fighting. I know what my mission is here, to stay alive. My extra little bonus one was for him to not take a wound as well. So it was over in the corner, like they came in, just over there, out of harm's way. Just chill. Just chill, miss. We're good. So there was no way you were getting that. There was no risk of me being broken. Because I had...
You outnumbered me
12,
roughly
13 models.
14 to 1?
Something like that. I had 47. Yeah, so it's about 10 to 1. That's not even joking. But yeah, it was brilliant fun.
I think we probably played about 43 turns. It certainly felt like that towards the end.
It was just rolling dice constantly. Like we'd got our little shortcuts for my coloured dice, so we knew exactly what was happening with each roll, just to speed it up, churn through the turns.
It was,
and I have to thank you for actually playing at such speed as that, because
mate,
it was like.
Like when you're going for the spoon,
90 seconds.
mate, if you're going for the spoon, you've got to make sure you've got all your dice set aside, your stats set aside, everything. You've got to be efficient. You've got to be efficient, But yeah, it's honestly really good game. It's been like the third of 3 really good games. So thank you so much.
Thank you. I'm happy to get a win on the board. I was kind of going in for the spoon as well. Like,
don't get out.
Not as hard as this guy, but I mean, the 0-0 would have been beautiful if it happened.
Mate, it would have been like poetry. But Hobbits OP. That's
Hobbits
the news.
OP.
Hobbits OP.
That's the second loss of Hobbits today, right?
Mental. So
I know your rider's going to have like PTSD travelling across the battlefield. It's like next turn,
they're going to see Hobbits.
Where are the traps? Anyway,
awesome.
Cool.
Thank you very
Cheers.
much. Thanks so much.
I appreciate it, and best of luck with the rest of the tournament.
Yeah, hopefully. Cool.
And I'll see you next round. So you joined us after round 4. It was another interesting game, this one. It was a bit of a close battle. I came up against a fellow Chris, good name. So what was our scenario today?
Our scenario was heirloom.
And it was fantastic. So we had 6 objectives. We had to dig them up, find out which one held the gaffer's prize buddies.
The other one, yes.
As we
it was.
And either look after them in my Hobbit's case, or in your Eagle's case, swoop off with them. So talk me a bit through your list.
My list is really simple. It's Misty Mountains Army. So I run Dwaki, obviously as the leader of Valor, and then 3 just Great Eagles.
So nice and simple. The game started off going quite well for me, I felt.
Yeah, definitely.
I managed to kind of mob in on a couple of Eagles, and it was like any time you did roll a 6, it was like 20 odd strikes on them. Took 2 down fairly quickly.
2 down went very quickly,
Recovered the relic very quickly. It was the second roll, wasn't it?
I think it was.
And it was right on the other side of the battlefield where the Eagles were, so they had to slog a little bit. I didn't quite manage to protect it properly. Talk us through the second half of the game.
Yeah, so second half of the game, as you said, I positioned my Eagles in a very poor area, so I had to move all the way across the map, but I think I managed to get you guys trapped in a corner a little bit, to get a good couple of fights in. I managed to get my monstrous attacks in and barge up a couple of times. I think it works very well in my favour, especially in that closed environment.
So you're able just to kind of clear out. I've got a nice little defensive barrier. You were able to kind of
hit them out,
clear it through it.
kept charging in, managed to pick it up by killing your guy, and then obviously fly into bits.
A bit OP, but my guy's just moving 4 inches at a turn.
So I just flew away, and you just couldn't keep up. So
2. I managed to break your force, which helps, but you killed off Berry despite his valiant last charge. It was about time, because in the last game he sat doing nothing against the ring rates. It was about time he got stuck in some combat, but he, as usual, died pretty quickly. So congratulations, that wraps up day 1 for me. Good luck for day 2 for tomorrow. Thank you very much. And I'll see you tomorrow / in a few seconds. Welcome back, it's day 2 of Into the West, and I am here with my round 5 opponent, Nathan. Nathan, tell us a bit about your list.
So I've got the Troll Chieftain for Mordor with Mouth of Sauron and a Great Beast of Gorgoroth and a handful of random orcs to make up the points. Fantastic, so a fairly small compact list. Our scenario was capture and control. So 5 objectives, one on each point of the compass and one in the middle. How do you feel the game went? It was lots of fun. Yeah. I think that it was. I knew from the beginning, having seen you had 1,000 hobbits floating about, that I had to smash through stuff really, really quickly and consistently. So the objectives were perhaps a secondary concern initially, and then they were bogged down a lot. But it was so much fun watching these hobbits be torn apart and smashed and crushed.
Yeah. I mean, you took part. It was more than 20 hobbits. Yeah. I didn't quite break, but managed to get you to break, and the game ended immediately. I positioned myself, I just think, quite nicely, so I'd managed to take as I was looking at it, westmost and southernmost objectives fairly quickly, and kind of never let you get near those. You've got your Troll Chieftain. I'd stopped from getting towards there. I'd kind of put a lot of sacrificial bait in the way.
Speed bumps.
Yeah, a lot of speed bumps. I'd sent my Maggot's hounds off after the northmost one. They kind of got repelled quite quickly from around the orcs, which is kind of to be expected. I was hoping they might do a little bit better than they did, especially when you kind of left them 3-on-3. I thought I could get that, but
yeah, that was a bit of a. What's the word? But it was a risk, clearly. It paid off, and it was enough to. I thought if I could hold that objective, if I get lucky, I can kill the dogs because they'll go down. And I did kill all 3 dogs, which is something to.
I'd managed to get a 4th one over there, so I'd have the 3 dogs go in and mug one guy initially, but didn't quite get the second degree mugging, so to speak, and got taken down. Just chipped away at. So it was a good game. It was a fun game.
It was really fun.
I had. What was your objective? Your objective was to keep your Troll Chieftain unwounded.
Unwounded, yes.
Which
a few scary moments, but
close calls.
Yeah, because the last couple of turns when he was a little bit
isolated, at a face. It was I had to win all my combats with a character of my choice. I chose Whitfoot. I charged him once into a Great Beast of Gorgoroth, where he had about, and this isn't exaggerating, probably about 10 guys in there with him. And the Great Beast failed to roll a 6, and I was rolling about a bucket full of dice, approximately, and won that combat, and then he was just like, nope, I'm just going to stay back over here for the rest of the game. I've done my objective for this game, so that was good. Overall, I took the game 6, 8, 9, 9-1.
I got there in zone 1, didn't I? That was quite good.
Merry dice, repeatedly.
Torn apart.
He's like Captain Jack today. He's just been like, died, but he's back again. Anyway, thank you very much for the games. Good luck with the rest of the day. We've got another 2 rounds to go. I'm currently on 2 and 3. You 1 and 4 now, is that
1 and 4, yes. My secret missions are going quite well. So,
fantastic, well done. And good luck with the rest of the day.
Cheers.
I'll see you all after round 6.
My round 6 opponent was playing Goblin Town. Unfortunately, this did not lend itself to having time to take pictures, and we were unable to chat about it after. The scenario was retrieval, and I had a plan. As it turned out, that plan was not a particularly good one, but there was a plan. I managed to take out his scribe quickly with the ambushing sheriffs and set about trying to get the relic, but overcommitted to the scribe and was unable to redeploy the sheriffs quickly enough before my opponent brought back reinforcements, and I was unable to get to it either with the sheriffs or with Farmer Maggot's doggos, who I'd sent to play fetch. I poured almost all my shooting all game into trying to kill the Goblin King, but sadly to no avail, though his warband was almost wiped out by the in-the-way rolls before he arrived, and the traps did their usual sterling work. His barge monstrous attack managed to force through my lines of defence before I could bring him down, and as we entered the final turn he claimed my relic, and I was unable to stop him, resulting in a victory for my opponents.
It's Rue again, and I'm here with Jasmine. Jasmine has come with a rather unique army today. Why don't you tell us a little bit about it?
Yeah, so it's the Woses, but instead of the wild men of Druidan, it's the wild women of Druidan. So they're all female, and I decided to go along the lines of, well, Tolkien didn't write any female characters, and there's no female models in the game, which it makes painting much less fun, so I thought that's what I'm going to go with, and then I just made it as inclusive as possible, so like varied the skin tones, the names, the disabilities, so you've got mental disabilities and physical ones, but at the end of the day they're not really disabilities because they all get the same profile, which is quite cool really, so it's just a nice celebration of something different.
Why did you go for the wild women rather than any other faction? What was your thought behind that?
Yeah, so they're not in the films, so it kind of gave me a bit more license when it comes to asking tournaments whether I can use them, but also I did kind of look at it and go, well, nobody's ran an all-Woses army before, I think it's quite competitive, so the competitive player of me went, well, let's go with that, and then I managed to track down some female minis, and I was like, right, yeah, I'm going to go with this now.
Well, they look absolutely fantastic. How have you done today?
They actually did pretty well, so 5 out of 7 wins, which is good. I mean, it plays quite different to any other army, but it was really nice to get them on the board, considering I spent the whole of the 3rd lockdown doing them, so yeah, it was nice.
Well done! And now for the fun question. How long have you been playing for?
So I'm playing about 20 years now, ever since the game started, so when I was very young, so yeah, got quite a big collection and a lot of painted models now, but yes, it's good fun, and I now continue playing because the people are just really nice.
Wow, that's like twice as long as I've been alive! Who is your favourite character in the film or in the game?
My favourite character is from a long time ago, but it would be the Elra here from the twins. I don't know why, I just kind of like them and just had to pick a favourite really, and I guess because his name goes second, just cheer for the underdog. But in terms of playing the game, I really like Kardish. He's a lot of fun to do.
Are there any female characters that you look up to?
I don't know if there's any that I look up to apart from maybe the ones that I make. So I made the Disney Princess Pirates, which are good fun, and yeah, it's just trying to do something a bit different and not have it as just painting ornaments, which is pretty boring.
They look brilliant. I love your creative designs there. Thank you very much, Jasmine, for your time, and best of luck with the rest of the day. I hope you beat Daddy in the painting contest.
Thank you.
So it is round 7, it's the end of the tournament, and I'm joined here by Nathan again. We ended up getting paired up because both of our opponents no-showed, so it was slightly different than last time, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about the second army you used.
So for some variety, I went for my good force this time. So Faramir, Knight of the White Tower, and some chaff alongside, and a bolt thrower, of course. Yeah. In a much
Yeah, and there was it a couple of knights, and it was a fairly standard list, what you expect to see in Gondor, really, wasn't it?
Pretty much, yeah.
So tell us a little bit about the game. What scenario did we have?
It was domination.
Yeah.
So objective spread across the board, kill the leader, do the standard basic game, isn't it?
Kill the leader, get the 5 objectives, break your opponent, jobs are given.
Yep.
And tell us what happens.
So I was initially too cagey with committing my troops, having in our previous game seen hobbits shooting a lot and failing at that point, but knowing that as a nice balanced around, that wouldn't be the same thing. I kept things out of combat, but we very quickly got in touch with each other, killed some stuff, and the bolt thrower did its kind of thing, killed hobbits for a while, and that was basically
Basically it, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So the way I was looking at it, over on my right, your left-hand side, where you had the Knight of the White Tower and his warband.
Yep.
I viewed the objective that you had over there as kind of a weak spot.
Yeah.
Because I'd managed to get everything else over to the left-hand side of the battlefield. I'd set up a little bit of a charge of the Light Brigade for your cavalry, charging through the minefield of traps, which you went and hid them behind a house.
Yes.
Went and hid them from the hobbits behind a house.
Yes.
And they say Gondor's not brave anymore.
Yes.
Was Faramir really showing his quality in that?
For Faramir, in my experience, never ever shows his quality. I think at that point, when maybe in turn 1, if I blasted forward and gone for it, you never know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
But once I was pinned behind the house, it then became a sacrificial commitment to throw him out from behind it, so that was certainly a factor.
So we're going to need to leave it there. It was a 10-2 victory to myself.
I can't remember the point. Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
So it's time for the reward ceremony. See you later. Okay, so I am joined by the winner of Into the West 2021, Ali King. Ali, congratulations first off. Why don't you tell us a bit about what you were playing?
So I was playing Phaedron's Guard Legendary Legion.
Yep.
So it's one of the Legendary Legions that came out in the Rohan at War of Mohan book. Basically it's led by Phaedron, and then you have Elfhelm, who's really good with a throwing spear basically, and then I've got a mixture of Royal Guard and normal Rohan warriors who also have throwing spears, and then some guys with bows on foot. And essentially one of the Legion bonuses is that they get to use their spears, throwing spears as spears and throwing spears. So it means that if anyone gets within 8 inches, there's a lot of danger.
Yeah, sounds it. Any standout moments from the tournament?
There's quite a few, I'd say. Like, I generally enjoy all of my games. I had quite I'm trying to think, I don't know which one's my favourite one, but genuinely it's always those dice rolls in certain games which could go one way or the other. I was lucky enough that they all just went the right way for me this weekend, so yeah. And then also just meeting loads of new people at the event that I haven't met before. We had like a meal last night, that was probably the highlight actually.
Fantastic, yeah, it's always good to have a nice social aspect to it as well. So just a little bit about you as well. What is your favourite army? Is it Rohan or is it?
So most people know me as a dwarf player, so Army of Thor and Khazad-dûm tend to be my favourite armies, and it's the first time sort of this year that I haven't been using a dwarf army when I've been coming to events for a good few years, so I started doing better with the Rohan than I was with the dwarves, but
yeah, you can't beat a 1-for-1 record with them, can you?
No, well, it's actually 2-for-2 now, but I went to another one the other week and they did well, so clearly quite good.
Well done. Who's your favourite character? Not necessarily from the game, but from the background.
It changes, but for a while it used to be Faramir. Now I would probably say it's Balin. I like Balin. He's a dwarf. I like dwarfs, and he's quite a cool dwarf.
And who would you have in your fantasy fellowship?
Balin. I'd go the Balin Bilbo sort of route, and then I'd just fill it out with Thorin's company. To be honest, that's what I would do.
All the dwarves.
Yeah. I'm not quite sure I'm allowed all of them, but oh well.
Might need a hobbit or two.
Yeah. Basically, my fantasy fellowship is the Hobbit, the Thorin's company.
Well, thank you for your time. Congratulations again on your win, and hopefully we'll see you around at some more tournaments soon.
Thank you very much.
As well as congratulating Ali for winning the event, I want to thank his brother Matt for organising a well-run and enjoyable tournament. The games were high class and the painting competitions were very hotly contested, as you can see. Congratulations also go to Jasmine, who we featured earlier, who not only finished second overall, but also managed second place in the best painted army too. As for myself, I could be proud of my 3 and 4 record, especially as this was my first tournament, and I was over the moon to walk away with the prize for best display board for my old mill display piece. That about wraps it up for this episode of A Ruse Creation. We'll see you again soon. Thanks for watching, and if you like what you've seen today, please do like the video and subscribe to the channel.